Hello everybody, I am the original gamer StevieStrow, and I am joined by Curtis Boyle of the Color Computer Games List website.
Hello everyone.
And we are continuing our journey down the Defender rabbit hole. We're going to play another game inspired by the arcade classic Defender. This game is called Starfire, released by Intellectronics? I can't even pronounce that word.
I don't know if it's Intellectronics or Intellectronics. No idea.
Okay, Intellectronics, we'll agree to call it that for now. Intellectronics in 1982, and the author was Harvey Brofman.
Yes. Also the author of Donkey Monkey.
Oh, excellent. I feel like I know him now. At least I know his other game. And so what can you tell us about Starfire, Curtis, before I jump in here and embarrass myself on it?
Well, this is a fairly close clone to Defender. It doesn't have the mountains background. But it does have smart bombs. It has the humans getting rescued. It has the ships that break apart. The firing's a little bit different. It's an instant laser that does the entire screen, so it doesn't have that kind of flashing shot.
Okay.
It was also one of the earlier clones. It came out in 82, as you mentioned, and it came out basically at the same time. Intellectronics was founded on Donkey Monkey and Starfire being the first two games.
Okay.
Ones later on as well.
At Gsoft, we make games for the TRS-80 color computer, TRS-80 MC10, and Dragon computers. Our basic games cover the range of genres from arcade, to text adventures, to simulations, to 3D dungeon crawls. This is our latest puzzle game from Japan, Fruit Panic. So come on and drop by our website and download our latest games.
All right, so what we're actually looking at, instead of me trying to play the game, because it was a little bit too hard to figure out the controls on a PC keyboard, is we're just going to watch the game over demo here. But we can see the mechanics are there. Actually, it looks like he just cleared the wave. So the keyboard controls on a PC are kind of all over the place. So you've got your up and downs, you've got thrust, as you were mentioning. You were just sharing it.
Hyperspace, smart bomb. Ring the butler.
Ring the butler. Yeah, lots of controls, which in the arcade, all the buttons were laid out in a way where you just had your stick and you could press one of the appropriate buttons. But on a keyboard, they're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it did fit close to the original arcade, because the original arcade's buttons were laid out roughly the same way on the poker keyboard as this one was. The only difference was up and down. Here was actual two keys as opposed to the single up and down joystick in the arcade version.
Right.
And one other difference here I forgot to mention earlier in the preamble is there is the radar, but the radar's done a little bit differently. Almost all the other Defender clones, you always stay in the center of the radar, scrolling across.
Okay.
In this case, your ship travels through the radar just like it's traveling through the main map.
Okay.
You'll see your yellow dot there is actually going across and wraps around.
Yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
So that takes a little bit to get used to if you're used to the original Defender.
But yes, as long as you track yourself, which I'm tracking him now, I see the yellow dot is him, and I see him taking out all the green meanies, whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
And then you've got also the radar shows your people on the bottom. It's the blue.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought that was like a little mini mountain range, but those little bumps are the actual people.
Yeah.
The little blue bumps are the people. So we have the people rescuing element. We have the smart bomb element. Spaceship from the side looks like a good spaceship profile, and there's your bonus for how many people have survived. So yeah, I think this has most of the elements of a Defender minus the mountains.
That's about the only thing really missing, to be honest.
Yeah, and the shapes of the bad guys look pretty close. The little dog bone looking bomb that got left behind there looks pretty close to the arcade.
Yeah, and it's got the ones you hit and they split apart into small little ones. They've got the super high speed baiters that come after you like crazy if you take too long on a level.
And for whatever reason, the red background doesn't seem to bother me.
It's like dusk on a planet or something.
Yeah, I mean, there were certain colors that just clashed, and I'm just wondering if, because I'm looking at this on a modern display, but it seemed like the red and the blue in this color mode here, there just was not enough contrast or separation between the two, where they just didn't seem to stand out. Hey guys, it's the original gamer StevieStrow here, and I want to talk to you about the Coco Crew podcast, hosted by John Linville and Neil Blanchard. It is a delicious journey into retro computing featuring the Tandy color computer. So if you are into vintage computing, retro computing, old school gaming, and especially if you're a Coco nut who's into the color computer, you gotta check out the Coco Crew podcast at cococrew.org, also available on iTunes and Stitcher. And tell them the original gamer StevieStrow sent you. You know, I just found that some of those games where if they used a blue background and you were a red character against that blue background, it was hard to see you.
You should try it on a black and white TV. It's really good. Can't tell the difference at all.
Yeah, my first Coco was running on a black and white TV. And then my second one, I upgraded to an amber monochrome monitor. So I didn't have color in most of my color computers until I got my Coco 3.
I know a friend of mine, Dwayne Downing, he had a black and white TV for the first 2 years. He had his Coco 1, and he was a real chess fan, and he bought the chess cartridge. Well, red, blue pieces are the same, so he couldn't figure out after a couple of moves who's...
Oh, yeah.
So he had to set up a real chessboard beside his computer and actually mock all the moves.
Oh, wow.
Chessboard so you could figure out what the heck he was doing.
Wow. That's a lot of work. Yeah, so this game here wouldn't have been good for him at all because the blue characters on the red background would have probably not stood out.
No, he couldn't see the difference between the people on the ground and well, you could see it a little bit because you can see the little head is yellow.
Yeah. But not a bad game. Not a bad game. Starfire, released in 1982, 2 years into the lifespan of our beloved color computer. So as far as things go, this was still in the somewhat infancy stage of the color computer. So, color computer lived to be at least a teenager in Radio Shack's, retail world. So this was still the early days of the color computer, but not a bad looking game. So I wish I could actually play it better, but I'm trying to play this on a PC emulator, and my PC keyboard is just not conducive. Not mapping the same way, so it's much more difficult for me to try to do it. So we just opted to let the game over demo show you what the game looked like, and I think you get a good enough idea of that, and it looks like a pretty good game. I actually regret not being able to take it for a test drive, but I did enjoy watching it.
Fun one. I played this one a fair bit. This one on Planet Invasion back in the day were probably the ones I played the most. I would have played Guardian if I'd had it, but I didn't have it back then.
Right. Okay, well, we will wrap up another Defender video. I hope you did enjoy this, and we have more to do and more to show, but until then, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Curtis for being with us.
No problem.
And we'll see you all next time. Take care. I hope you had as much fun watching this video as I had making it for you. And if you did, then do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. If you've got something you'd like to say, throw out a comment and let me hear it. I'd really appreciate it if you could share this video and my channel with your friends. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and long live the Coco.